desRow's playing really, he's trying to, just do his thing, but it hasn't worked out for him. He's falling in the bottom position. We have the Pink Terran. He pulled 2 games with he pulled one first game with incredibly aggressive play, did a failed proxy barracks the second game, and just managed to win with a Marine tank push in the last game. He is Empire.Beasty.
Dang, this thing's so sensitive. In the top right, we have the orange Protoss, EC desRow.
Yep. And I mean, this map, it's another anything goes map. You won't have to scout for position, so it's totally possible that Beasty could go for another proxy play. He's going to get his supply depot at his wall. We'll see if he sends out an SCV early or not, but it looks like Beasty's going to be playing this game a little bit more standard than the last couple ones that he has played. So, I mean, I think that's going to work out really well, but especially since he can do this really effectively now, since desRow's going to be, he's going to do this early scout. desRow's going to be more on his toes and be like, you know what? I'm just tired of this. I don't want to lose to this weird style, this aggressive style, this proxy style, this Hellion drop style. And he's going to go. He's going to scout early. He's going to get his gateway early. He's going to just do his absolute best to make sure that he doesn't get in that weird position that he's been in the last few games.
Yeah, it feels like he scouted properly the last game, just didn't. He expected an expansion that didn't happen, so. Or will happen later.
I think finally we're going to be seeing Beasty do a 1 Rax expand. He's sending out that SCV. It doesn't look like he's going to proxy. He didn't take an early gas, and his barracks is about to finish. So he just wants to go and scout is what it seems like. So I think that's probably the best way to do it, because if desRow's going to be on his toes, he's scouting early, he's going to be playing defensively, and desRow's going to have his eyes open for any kind of weird, cheesy play. And this is just a great opportunity for Beasty to say, you know what? I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to macro. I'm just going to get all my tech. I'm going to just play this really solid. All I need to do is win this game, and it's mine. And then I'm just going to try to just blow you away with better macro. And we're going to see it here. This barracks is going to, this command center is going to go down. desRow really wants to see it drop, though, because he's definitely nervous. Command center will go down. Now, this Marine could stop the probe from getting to the other side, so he's going to dance around. The shields regenerate. He's going to try to run by now with some good stutter step. Beasty can kill that probe, so desRow has to be very careful now. Beasty knows, okay, no Nexus first. Check the gas. He's checked everything. It's looking very standard and safe. And Beasty's just, he's just doing his thing. Beasty's in his comfort zone. He's comfortably ahead in the series. He's okay. It's 2-1. Like, okay, even, if I just play really standard, I don't think that desRow is going to do any kind of all-in. He hasn't tried. desRow hasn't played aggressively at all the last couple of games. desRow has a probe in position to expand. So the Beastie is just in a really good spot to just macro up this game.
Yeah. So I think he played pretty good mind games throughout the series. He's up 1 win right now, so he can do any type of builds he really wants to.
Yeah, and when you're in that position where it's like, I only need 1 more game to win, well, you can go, Beasty could theoretically go for the all-in, but why risk it and move it to a tied series, He hasn't played, he has not played versus desRow's macro style, desRow may have some tricks up his sleeve, he doesn't actually know what desRow could do in a normal game, but he does know that desRow is going to be on the lookout for cheese, so, going for cheesy play, desRow's, his eyes are going to be open, he's like, I'm ready for anything weird that you can bring. And Beasty's like, well, I've never seen your macro games. So he's actually going to pick off 2 Marines. 3 Marines are going to go down here, but this 1 Marine will get into the bunker, and he may just run a Stalker by. There is no wall in Beasty's main. desRow has, however, confirmed that there was an expansion by Beasty, and he's just going to back off now.
Yep, a Robo getting thrown down for desRow here, so he could get his Observer out to see what's going on in the main of Beasty.
So he's actually going to be going for a lot of tech early on, and I think this is a good move, because his opponent's not 2-raxing him. He knows there's an expansion, so Beasty doesn't really, so desRow doesn't have to worry about any pressure. So he's like, well, okay, I can get my Robo before I get any more gates. I can go double Forge if I want to. I can, he has options. He could even have gone for an early 3rd, and, Beasty's aware of that. He has his SCV at the 3rd of desRow. He's like, I want to make sure you don't do anything, too weird, because I fast expanded now. So desRow's Warp Gate is finished. He's like, okay. His robotics facility is finished. He's going to open with an Observer, and we're going to be transitioning into a smooth macro game. Now Empire.Beasty will get up. He's like, okay, I'm going to see. Nice force field by desRow. He says, okay, you want to know? I expanded, but you will not know what my tech path is. And I think a very nice force field by desRow there, denying that scouting by Beasty.
Yeah, and just denying that scouting could force out a scan if Beasty really wants to know what's up behind in the main of desRow.
Yeah, and I think that'd be a great idea. And I feel like desRow still has this probe over here from where you dropped this Forge, so we could see a second Forge. And I feel like I'd really actually love to see double Forge play, but I guess that's not where he wants to go with this. He's going to play as solid as he possibly can, and well, he moves the probe back over, and looks like he may... Is he gonna put it down? Oh, okay, there's a Robotics Bay. Okay, so he's just going to go one Forge. And I feel like if he's going to open with the Robotics Bay, he's probably going to get +1 attack to start with. As Beasty takes the gas as natural, he's getting his stim, he's getting everything pretty standard. He went 3cc, so Beasty's just doing the most standard possible style. desRow's going to open with +1 attack. When you go for Colossus, +1 attack is much better because you want to be able to just tear those Marines apart as fast as you can, especially since with stim openers, one stim and then no combat shield, and then suddenly you get this +1 attack and you're two-shotting the Marines and you're just ripping them apart.
Yeah.
Much more quickly with that splash damage, especially... Actually, desRow's going to go for this third now, too, and I really like this play. He's gotten Beasty to drop... Beasty went 3cc, so, he's like, I got 3 bunkers. I want to make sure I get away with my economy. desRow knows he went 3cc, and he's like, I just got to take my third Nexus. Beasty's playing so defensively. And he's going double engineering-based style. I do not believe Beasty saw that, however, but he's going to run his probe into scout. There's no missile turrets. No scans available for Beasty, so he's going to freely get in here. He's going to be like, okay, he's got a late starport. I'm not going to have to worry about fast stim timing. I'm not going to have to worry about fast drops. And I think desRow is definitely being able to finally play within his comfort zone of this nice macro style. And he's seen a second Forge go down, so I'm curious to see what kind of timing Beasty might go for.
Yeah. Beasty was going to try to take out the Observer of desRow, but desRow micros that out of the way. Just barely.
Yeah, and I really like this pylon placement, right? He's going to cover all the drop paths. He's not going to be able to run a medevac along the bottom side of the map without him seeing this. And since he has tower control, the lanes that Beasty can send a medevac through are very tight as he gets these pylons. He's slowly just going to run out of space, and Beasty's going to move out his third CC now. desRow has the third Nexus done. He has the double Forge rolling. He does not have his Twilight Council yet, so his +2 attack will be a little bit behind. Not terrible. He has a Colossus, he's getting extended Thermal Lance, and he has a good number of sentries. So I think desRow is really just in a really, really great position here. Beasty himself, he's not behind, but Protoss 3 base is definitely scarier than Terran 3 base.
Yeah, and Thermal Lance is getting upgraded, +2 attacks on the way, +1 armor is like about halfway done. So it's pretty scary.
Yeah, especially considering that, Beasty went double engineering bay, but he got his upgrades really late. So his +1/1 is just about to finish. Like, he's still like 30 seconds away on that 1/1. Meanwhile, Beasty's got his 2/2, +2 attack rolling along smoothly, especially with Chrono Boost. You're never really behind in upgrades as Protoss.
Yeah.
And I really, really like this, though. He moves forward, and, it's like, does Beasty have a much bigger army, technically? His army supply is double of desRow's, but desRow has force fields. He has Colossus. He has that +1 attack, +2 so soon. If Beasty picks a fight, running up this ramp, is so scary. If he gets pinched in half with force fields here, he could lose a lot. Now, on the other hand, if desRow misses his force fields, he pretty much insta-loses if those Marines get a chance to run up and snipe the Colossi.
I don't think desRow should engage before Thermal Lance, just because it's about to finish right here.
Yeah. Especially with that +2 attack on the way and his +1 armor finishing.
Yeah.
Now, Beasty is going to be pushing out towards the third of desRow. And he's going to come up here, he's going to snipe. We have photon cannons building. He snipes the Zealot building, snipes one photon cannon, the other gets canceled. He's going to be taking down this gateway. No cancel. And Nerio broke. 5 total workers killed, nothing terrible. These Colossus are going to push him back. So a nice little pickup. By Beasty. Nothing terrible. But I must say, Beasty's macro is starting to really roll along. We have a 50 supply lead without any real engagements happening this game. And this 3cc is really starting to pay off.
So we do have +2 attack finished for desRow here. 2/2 is about halfway done for Beasty.
And I honestly feel like now desRow's in a little bit of a bad spot. He needs his Storm, right? It's done researching. He needs the energy, though. Because while he may have a nice Colossi count, Beasty has gotten the initiative. He's like, man, I'm gonna pump out a ton of Vikings, and now he has no stalkers. Like he can't protect these at all. And if he burns the storms on the Vikings, well, the Vikings are spread decently. 2 Colossi go down. You know, desRow doesn't really have an army.
Yeah, I think that was a lack of scouting by desRow, not seeing all these Vikings being produced here.
Yeah, I feel like he could have switched away to storm so much faster.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, he's got this Colossus, but that's gone immediately. A good couple of storms, but he's just going to run it into desRow's main here. And the really scary part is no matter what desRow does, Beasty just going to run to the other side of the base, get in the medevacs and leave, because he's caused so much damage.
Yeah, these units are stemmed to death right now, so I mean, one storm will get it.
He's just like, you know what, okay, you want to do that? Now I'm gone. And there's no energy, doesn't get a feedback. Oh, one medevac feedback could kill. Oh, I don't know. Feedback doesn't have the range, I guess. Terrible shame. But Beasty gets a nice little pickup there. His 2-2 is done. desRow is, he's on 2-2. He's on his way to +3 attack. He's finishing up some more gateways, but he took a lot of damage. And actually, the Vikings landed in desRow's third. I didn't even realize this. Oh wow. Wow.
Right behind this, Beasty is taking a fourth. He's taking the smaller fourth, but he is still taking that, and there's 26 workers killed for Beasty here, so I think Beasty's in a really strong position here.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is actually a really scary spot to be in for desRow. I mean, he got the macro game that he wanted, but Beasty just, his decision-making on this was just so smooth and crispy. He's like, you know what, I'll macro you, and I'm just gonna macro so hard this game, and that's what he did. He played really greedily. desRow tried to play greedily, but I don't think desRow played greedily enough.
Yeah, and I think it was just lack of scouting by desRow, so he got caught off guard with all those Vikings and had nothing for him.
Yeah, exactly. He had 3 Colossi, would have held the push perfectly fine, but he didn't realize his opponent had, 8 Vikings to deal with it, and he had no stalkers. He had like 3 sentries.
Yeah, and 3 more CCs getting put down for Beasty here.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much just getting ready to say, oh, we have a nuke on the way too, so Beasty's just getting ready to end this game right now. He's up in supply. Not that up in supply. I mean, a good couple storms can turn the game around. That's how Protoss works. Like, if he gets a good storm or 2, but he still has such a low stalker count, he can't take out these Vikings. EMP goes off. He still has the storm, though. There are still EMPs and snipes. He's going to try to storm him here. EMP goes down. That EMP shower, he does not get a good storm off. However, 3-3 charge belt weapons should do this, but the Vikings begin to land. And actually not. Nuclear warhead has been called in on desRow's third. This really won't kill any units. It'll probably take out the pylons. It should take out this gateway. But I think this is just going to be the finishing touch on this game, unfortunately.
That's like Beasty's Manor nuke.
Yeah, and that's GG by desRow. So Beasty will take the series 3-1.